All right, guys, let's talk fasting, specifically intermittent fasting. Let's talk what is it, why you should be doing it, benefits, things I've learned about it. Uh, Fasting just means to not eat. So if you're fasting, you're not eating. We're staying without food. Intermittent fasting is it's kind of like you're having a feeding window, you're having a fasting window. The most kind of popular thing is right now is a 16-8 fast. So 16 hours without food and then an 8-hour eating window. I consume a lot of content. And when I say a lot of content, 3-4 hours a day listening, business, fitness, entrepreneurship, business history. And fasting, easily, number one, the best thing I've ever learned in my entire life. It took me to the age of 39 before I came across it, and it has been the biggest, the most influential, life-changing thing ever happened to me. And a little background of me is doing weights since the age of 17, fitness comps, winning fitness comps, modeling, Thunder Down Under, like in Excalibur. That's what brought me to the country in the first place. Whole life's been revolved around like fitness, the way I look, looking good, shirt off, working at bachelorette parties, working at nightclubs without a shirt on. And it's all being dictated about looking good, being healthy. And it's a full-time job. It's honestly like 95% of the way you look is done in the kitchen. It doesn't, there's a saying, you can't out train a bad diet. So you go to the gym and you do that. That's kind of the easy part. There's like maybe 5 hours a week it goes into the gym. And then you've got the entire rest of the week where you're eating, if you're going back to the way I used to do it, you're eating between 6 to 12 meals a day. And when I say meals, I'm talking like big 300, 400, 500 calorie meals. Like your chicken breast, your broccoli, your sweet potato, your brown rice. And you kind of just force feeding yourself all day, every day. And you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're prepping, you're shopping, you're washing up, and you're doing it again. Every time I would go out, I would have to have, hey, I'm going out for 6 hours. That means I need to have like 2 meals with me. So I got chicken and brown rice sitting in the hot Vegas car, just so I've got the right food to eat so I don't break my diet, so I can stay lean. And like I said, it is just exhausting. And yeah, you look the part, but your life is dictated by food. You're not in control of your life. You're just constant. It's all about the next meal, eating every 2.5 hours. And I'm now 42, and it's not maintainable. It's not fun. Your priorities change. Like when you're younger, it's not such a big deal. As you get older, your priorities start to change. Walking around with abs isn't so important. But it would still be nice, and it's still very important to stay healthy. And fasting for me has been the easiest, cheapest, most convenient way of staying healthy, staying in shape, and also just enjoying my life. So the way I started was I would stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, and then I wouldn't start eating again until 12 o'clock the next day, 12 p.m. And for 39 years of my life, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. My parents, especially my mom, you got to have breakfast before you go to school. Every fitness magazine, every bodybuilding magazine, oh, you got to have breakfast. You got to have this big steak. And it's just embedded in you that you've got to continually eat. And I still remember the first day that I skipped breakfast. First time I skipped breakfast in 39 years. And I'm not joking. I would religiously eat. And I skipped breakfast and I was like, oh my God, I'm okay. I'm okay. I feel okay. And I did it again and I did it again. And before you know it, I haven't had breakfast for, I don't know, 3 years now. And I'm okay. And as you get used to that 16-8, you start to have, your stomach starts to have a rest. You start to have time to just calm down. Like 60-70% of your energy goes to digesting food. If you're always eating, you're always putting all that energy into digesting your food. And when you don't eat, all of a sudden you got extra energy. You feel better. You feel empty. You feel like you function better. And what I did is I did the 16-8 for a while, and then I just started pushing it. And all of a sudden it was 18-6. 18 hours without food, and then 6 hours with food. And I would just play back and forwards. I would always do at least 16 hours. It's kind of whatever works with you, but that's kind of like, I feel like that's long enough to get the benefits, but also, and with staying maintainable. And now after doing it for 3 years, I'm at a 22.5 hour fast with an hour and a half eating window. And it's not because I'm trying to show off or prove it to anybody. Nobody knows, nobody cares. It's just what works for me. So I fast. I think I eat about 5 p.m. at night. I finish by about 6:37, and then I just fast all the way through. And I have my black coffee in the morning, and I have my water, and that's it. And especially coming from the bodybuilding fitness community, is if you don't eat every 2.5 hours, you're gonna lose muscle. You're not gonna grow. You're gonna break down. You're gonna break down muscle. I weigh 235 pounds. I'm about 11-12% body fat. I think I'm okay. Like, I think I'm doing okay. If I was losing muscle, I'd be a lot skinnier. I feel fuller than ever. It was definitely weird. It was more mental for me. It was so hard mentally because it went against everything I'd ever been taught by any friend, any mentor, anybody around me in the fitness industry. I've managed 3 supplement shops. Like I said, I've modeled, I've done fitness comps, I've won a ton of comps. Been in Thunder Down Under, been around all those guys, all in shape. And just to do something completely different, it's weird to go against the pack. It's weird not to follow like a sheep, and to kind of try different things for yourself. And I function better, I feel better, I keep the weight off so easy. There's only so many calories you can eat in an hour and a half eating window. And I just every day just lose weight, and if I want to have a pizza, if I want to cheat, and I'm not strict all the time. I'm still a human being. Like I said, I'm 42. I want to have a life. I don't want my whole life dictated by eating chicken and broccoli and brown rice. It's boring. It's not fun. If I was competing, I had a goal for that. But for me, it's more aesthetic now. I just want to stay healthy. I just want to feel good, look good, and maintain that. I've never been able to stay lean consistently when I used to diet the way I used to diet. I would diet for 3 to 4 months. I would get down to, I think I had to get to about 6-7 body fat for what I was doing. 6 to 7% body fat for what I was doing for a photo shoot or for like a fitness comp. But I could never stay there. I would always be up and down, kind of like a yoga, up and down. So why do I recommend it for you? I recommend it for anybody. I had one friend who I encouraged. I kind of gave him a bit of a push. He was extremely overweight, obese. He did it. He dropped 270 pounds in the space of a year and a half. Because what you don't understand is body fat is fuel. So when you eat food, your body needs a certain amount of food to function. Once it has enough calories in its functioning, the rest is excess. Excess calories is body fat. That's full stop. So someone who carries a lot of body fat is just eating more than they need. And if they stop eating, the body will start just breaking down that body fat and converting that into energy. They're not going to starve to death. You find someone who's just average looking, average build, who's fairly skinny. They're still got at least 40, I think they say between about 40 days of fuel on them. They could go for about a month, nearly 2 months without food and be completely fine. Water, on the other hand, you need, but food you can go without. And it's what people forget is like it's only been around for the last 100 years or so. It's only marketing. It's only people telling you, oh, you got to eat every 2.5 hours. You got to have breakfast. You got to have your Fruit Loops for breakfast because that's really good for you. It's got fiber. How can that be better than not eating? And there's been 10,000 generations of human beings. And I think all but 600 of those have been feeding and fasting. Agriculture has only been around for the last 600 years, and that's when it started. So we fed when we could, when there was food around, when it was summer, when we had access to fruits, vegetables, when we were able to hunt, get meat, just like a lion would, we would eat. And then we would store the excess weight, aka like otherwise known as body fat. And then when we couldn't feed, we didn't have food, our body would start breaking down body fat, and that's how we survived. And that's how we still survive today. It's the way we are. But somewhere along the lines, we've got kind of confused where like, oh, if you don't eat, it's so bad for you. If you don't have food every 2.5 hours, if you don't have your protein shake, if you don't have this, it's just marketing. And besides looking better, feeling better, functioning better, it's so cheap. I literally eat 25%, 75% less food than I ever have in my life. I mean, I would spend a fortune on food. I'd always buying food, always cooking food. And now it's so easy. I wake up in the morning, I leave the house, and I eat when I want to eat. And that's all there is to it. And I love it. I got a little app that I use, Zero, Zero. It's a free app. Download that and you hit start fast, and it's like a timer. It'll time you, and I can even pull it up now. And it's just kind of a measurement of where you're at. So right now, Zero, I've been fasting for 18 hours and 34 minutes. And it's 1 p.m. during the day. So come about 5 p.m. today, like I said, it'll probably be around 22 hours. And that's kind of how I keep track of my fast. Do I need to do that? No. I like something that's measurable, because I feel like when it's measurable, it's more like obtainable. It's more like goal setting. Especially if you're just starting. I highly suggest using an app and trying to do at least 16 hours. So I'm going to touch on this a lot more. I just want to give you the basic understanding on fasting, how it works, my experience with it, the benefits I've had with it. So the only way to not break a fast, black coffee, green tea, water. Anything else will break a fast. No cream, no sugar, nothing added to any of those drinks, nothing added to that water. And that's kind of it. If you got questions, you want to know more about it, you want me to do more videos in depth on certain parts of this, hit me up. I'd love to see some more people take advantage of this, especially people in the fitness industry, because it sucks having to eat all day, every day. It sucks having to cook, prep, take your food with you everywhere. I would go to work for 8 hours. I'd have to pack a lunchbox every day. I'd have to get up an hour early just to prep my food for the day, so I wouldn't just go out and buy something. I wouldn't cheat. It's just the worst thing ever. And the older you get, the less of variety it gets. And how many people you see in the 30s are in shape, never alone in the 40s, never alone in the 50s. And I believe with this lifestyle and this way of eating, there's no reason why I'm 60, 70, I can't still be skinny, I can't still be in shape. Because honestly, it's nearly easy at this point. Going to the gym's easy because I love it. And it doesn't need to be the gym, just could be any type of exercise, whatever you enjoy doing. And then if you're not, like I say, if you're not eating it, you don't have to burn it off. You cannot outwork a bad diet. Unless you're like Michael Phelps or something, burning 10,000 calories a day. And that's just anomaly. Like, that's not everybody. So hit me up, send me a DM, any comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching.